Hi, I'm Hauntzer, and here's my guide on Camille. Camille's a good pick because she scales really well into late game. She's really mobile, like diver and fighter, and she's also really strong in swift push. So Camille is mostly played in top lane, and in top lane you always want to run flash and TP. Other variations just aren't really worth it. For runes, I take flat attack damage reds, armor yellows, magic resist blues, and flat AD quints. For masteries on Camille, the most optimal setup is, especially for top lane, is 18-0-12 because it gives you nice damage with river and good survivability, and you get a summoner cooldown with the 12 in defensive tree, and that's just the most optimal setup. For Camille's abilities, rank 1, you can either go W or E. It really depends on the matchup and what kind of level 1 you're doing. Say if you're like invading topside level 1, then getting E is really good because it's a ranged stun. You can gap close and like maybe blow someone's flash level 1 or kill them. Against range matchups, getting W is a lot better because if you get harassed in the first wave, you can just heal it back up with W and also harass them at the same time. And after that, you want to skill E or W, whichever one you didn't take, and then Q, and max Q first, then E, then ulti, and then W. For level 1, the 3 variations for Camille that you can build are Doran's Blade with 1 potion, Longsword with 3 potions or a fillable pot, or Corrupting Potion. It really depends on what matchup, what you want to build. In most matchups, Doran's Blade is good enough, and in some matchups where you need more sustain, Longsword's really good. In like range matchups, maybe Corrupting Potion's better, just because you have more potions to heal up with. For early lane, you gotta make sure to proc your passive and make sure it's a good trade. Most champions in top lane are physical damage, and so if you can trade autos and your shield comes up and you run away, the enemy will take creep damage, but you won't just because the shield is there, and it gives you like a more favorable trade. Sustain up a lot with W. W, if you hit the champion, heals you a lot, probably like 50 per hit, and also does a lot of damage. So that's a very good skill to have. So usually on your first base, you want to get either a Tiamat or a Sheen. Those items are really powerful for Camille because, say you're in a like Camille versus tank matchup, you want to be able to push and roam because you won't be able to punish your lane as hard. And so getting Tiamat is very helpful for pushing the wave out, roaming mid, getting a dive off, or looking for skirmishes in the jungle. If you're against a carry matchup or like a squishy matchup that's easy to gank, I recommend going Sheen because the increased CDR helps for burst and sustain with W, and just helps overall with ganking potential. After the first buy, you want to rush Triforce and then go into either Ravenous Hydra or Titanic Hydra. That really depends on how the game is going, what role you are on the team. If you're more of a split pusher, Ravenous Hydra is better, but if you want to team fight more and be like more tanky in team fights, then Titanic Hydra is better. And then after that, it really depends on what kind of resist the enemies are weak against. Say if they're really magic heavy, you want to get like Spirit Visage, GA, you can get Banshees or Maw. If they're armor heavy, you want to get Deadmans just for increased mobility, or Randuin's, Thornmail, and GA are all really good. Camille's strongest power spikes in terms of items are Triforce, getting the 20% CDR and just the increased damage on auto is really helpful because she uses her abilities a lot and you can proc the passive a lot. And next one would probably be the Hydra spike, where you can finish your Hydra because either Hydra is like really strong and increases your damage output by a lot. And after that, you build more bruiserish, so you're not going to have any like strong power spikes, you're just going to be like slowly ramping up. So picking Camille, honestly you can pick her in any scenario and she'll be a pretty decent pick. It doesn't seem like she has any super favorable matchups right now, but she also rarely has any counters. It really depends on what comp you want to play or what is happening in the game, but most of the time you want to like split push, force someone in the side lane, and then rotate to your team and force a pick with your E and ultimate. That's like the most consistent way to do it. Otherwise, if you're really strong in 1v1, they can keep split pushing, kill the enemy laner, and then like take towers really fast with your Q. Some mechanical tips on Camille: if you press E against the wall, you'll stay on the wall for a short second, and you can bait out enemy escapes with that, or you can like just outplay them, force their escape, and then back off. And you can also E flash, so when you're jump onto the wall, and then when you're dashing out towards the champion, you can flash onto them and you'll get the stun off, and that's a really consistent way to get the stun off, especially if they have flash or like some kind of escape to get away from your E. And your ulti, when you first cast it, gives you some invulnerability frames, and you go invulnerable, you can dodge like Nolus ulti, probably Karthus ulti, a lot of skill shots, and stuff like that. So if you time it right, you'll be able to dodge like a lot of damage or CC. Thanks for watching my guide, hope you enjoyed it. Camille is an OP champion, use her wisely.